won't believe me, but I have to tell this story. Maybe someone will listen. Maybe someone will understand. It was supposed to be a simple camping trip. Just me and my best friend, Jake. We'd done it 100 times before. Pack a tent, gather some firewood, sit under the stars, and talk about life. Nothing unusual, nothing dangerous. We found a clearing deep in the woods, far from the city lights. The air was cool, and the trees stretched high above us like ancient guardians. The moment we set up camp, though, something felt off. The forest was too quiet. No birds, no rustling leaves, just an eerie stillness. But Jake, he laughed it off. That night we sat by the fire telling old stories. The flames flickered, casting strange shadows on the trees. I remember Jake standing up, stretching, and saying he needed to take a leak. He stepped away, disappearing into the darkness. I didn't think twice about it, but after a few minutes he didn't come back. At first I just called out to him. "Jake?" No answer. "Come on, man, quit messing around." Still nothing. I grabbed my flashlight and followed the path he had taken. I walked for what felt like forever. My light barely cut through the darkness, and the deeper I went, the heavier the air became. Then I saw it, a tree, but not just any tree. It was massive, its bark twisted like veins, its roots bulging from the ground like gnarled fingers, and at its base, Jake's backpack. I ran to it, my hands shaking. It was open, his flashlight lying next to it, still on. But Jake was nowhere in sight. Panic set in. I shouted his name over and over. I searched every inch of the area. No footprints, no broken branches, nothing. It was like he had vanished. Then I heard it. A whisper, soft, like the wind moving through the leaves. But it wasn't the wind. It was coming from the tree. I stepped closer, my breath catching in my throat. The bark wasn't just twisted. It was moving, pulsing. I could swear I saw something inside it. Something human-shaped. I reached out, hesitating for only a second before pressing my hand against the rough surface. It was warm, and then the ground shifted beneath me. A root curled around my ankle. Before I could scream, it yanked me forward. My hands clawed at the dirt, but it was useless. The last thing I saw was the sky, the stars blinking down at me. Then everything went dark.